start with a guest lecture. So it will be Manuel that will talk about artificial intelligence, a broad topic, but he will try to relate it to how this will affect our economy and also our democracy. I think we will try to do it, give a kind of introduction to the topic, and I'm sure that we will hear more about this in the future. The lecture will be in 45 minutes, and you take questions if you want, and if not, you say that, you decide. So, welcome, Manuel.
Okay, thank you, Yun. First, thank you for inviting me to take this lecture. Please feel free to make any question about this. This is a lecture that I used to do at home. I did 1 month of macroeconomics and public policies there, and overall general equilibrium, and then I take this lecture. So I try to do now an approximation of what is the main economic principles that we can apply to the development and the regulation of artificial intelligence in order to think and to realize how the development of artificial intelligence can affect us as a society in common, as individual people too. Okay. What are the risks and what are the advantages? Because there are many advantages there. Really, what we can see now is that one of the objectives, economic welfare, can be achieved easier with artificial intelligence, because many times the problem for markets to achieve efficiency is a question of information, and many times the question, the key for governments to implement public policies is a question of information too, because even if a government is able to apply, it wants to apply a public policy to regulate the market or to achieve efficiency in a market, the problem is the identification of the preference of people, individuals. So that's a big problem, identify the preference of individuals in order to apply the correct price, in order to achieve the efficiency level. But with artificial intelligence, because we are every day, all the time, putting our preference in our devices, governments can achieve this preference, and then it will be easier for them to achieve better equilibriums. So this is the point of view that I would like to take this lecture. Please, any question, can you ask me anytime? But I have 45 minutes, so take that into account. So this is the contents. I realize now that I don't know why I lose the slides for this last question, but it's quite easy to understand. I will do it in this Blackboard, but the rest is completely in the slides. So perhaps we will see, at the beginning we will see some tools and concepts about artificial intelligence and what is a human, a post-human, and a transhuman. Okay. We will see what is, probably you know very well, what is individual preference and what is the preference of the community, the different. And we will try to answer this question, which is how artificial intelligence may improve efficiency on private markets, and how can improve efficiency in public markets. Public market means public services or public goods. Okay? But it can be in general for any market failure. And finally, I will try to answer this question. That is a very nice question, and many people like that. Really, we will need governments in the future, or we will be able to have a real direct democracy with artificial intelligence. So we will try to answer this until the end. So that makes me sure that you will be sit here and you don't go out. So we would like first to start with the concept of what is transhuman and what is posthuman. This is a transhuman. His name is David Whitner, and he connects a camera here. This is true. This is not this is a real thing that happened. He connects a camera to his brain, and now what he's able to do is he can hear colors. So he's able to hear the colors. So when the camera focuses blue, for example, he can hear the frequency of the colors. So this is a transhuman because he improved her qualities. He have improved his capacities with an advice that he had to his body. Okay, that's the concept of a transhuman. The concept of posthuman is very well taken in a Netflix series, and the title is Better Than Us, and she is a transhuman. Really, it's artificial. It's a mix between artificial and biology, because her skin is biology, but inside her, she's completely artificial. She's like a robot inside, but outside you can look at her and you cannot differentiate for any human. Okay, so this is a transhuman because this is a posthuman because it has much more capacities, physical and psychic, of a human. Okay, and it's really a robot inside. It's artificial completely, but outside can take some skin biology in order to appear more like a human. Okay. That's her. This is her outside. Really a woman. You look at her and it's like a woman. Even in the series, people think that she's a woman. But inside, she's like this. She's a machine. And her software is very strong. It's quite strong. It has many abilities. Okay. This is inside, and this is the trailer of the movie.
The first law: a robot cannot injure a human being or allow a human being to be harmed by not helping. The second law: the robot must obey all orders given by a human, except if these orders violate the first law. The third law: the robot must protect itself, as long as that protection does not go against the first or second laws.
cross hair inside. So I would like to explain a little bit between the difference between what is machine learning and what is artificial intelligence. Machine learning is really what we already have now. We have robots for example, cutting the grass. You can see there, or perhaps there are robots here cleaning the floor too. It's a big orange machine. I don't know if I have not seen it here really alone cleaning, but I saw it in the airport, at the airport here. It was it's a big machine and he cleaned alone. That's a robot. Or he cuts the grass alone. That's a robot. Okay. So that's machine learning. That's robot, the grass robot or the machine, the cleaning robot have a software inside, and somebody, human, write that software and teach that robot to do something. That's machine learning. Okay. It can be, even in the series, there are two types of robots that are really only machine learning, like this one. And there are robots like her, that is artificial intelligence. And the difference between her and this type of robot is that she's able to learn for herself. Okay? That's the difference between machine learning and artificial intelligence. When you have artificial intelligence, the machine, or it can be only a software. It's not necessary to be something physical. It can be only software. Okay. Then they are able to learn alone for themselves. And I'm going to tell something about the series. Sorry, but he is a neurosurgeon. Sorry for the pronunciation; it's difficult for me to pronounce that. So he's a doctor, and in the series, once he tried to make an intervention of a small boy, and he failed in the intervention, and the boy died. But in one time in the series, she has to do it again, a similar intervention, and she never have tried anything before. Nobody have teach her anything about that. Any type of just simple intervention, medical simple intervention, or just very complex, like it can be like a neurosurgeon. And in one day, she learned. She downloaded all the information from internet, and in one day she learned. And the next day, she tried to make the intervention to this person. And when she's learning, she found his fail, where he failed in his intervention, and that makes him to take out, leave it that profession and do it other things in the movie. So she searching that, and she identified his failure, and then she learned, and then when she tried to look for a solution, and she found it. And when she did the same intervention, she was success in that intervention. That's artificial intelligence. She's able to learn. And because the information goes very, very fast inside a computer. For example, in our brain, the information goes like 100 meters per second, but in a computer can be to the speed of the light. So her capacity is here compared to us. Her capacity is very, very high. Not only to learn, it's yes to improve too. And she demonstrated that there. Okay. You understand now better? What is the key? That's the key. And that's what is Nick Bostrom talked in his TED lecture, or TED speaking, that I suggest you in the abstract of the lecture. For him, he's a professor. He's Swedish, and he's Scandinavian. But he is a professor at the University of Oslo, and he's the director of the Future of Humanity Institute. So they research in this field, and there are different type of people working there. Not only in this case he's a philosopher, but it must be other type. There are other type of people working in that institute in this field, the development of artificial intelligence. Really, what he say is yes, there is because now artificial intelligence have a very low level. Even like now, the development of artificial intelligence is like the brain of an insect, of an ant, or something like that. But it can grow. It will grow, for sure. And he's thinking that around this year, more or less, it can be the probability of 50%, 2050, 2040, 2050, there is a 50% of probability that the artificial intelligence can have our level of intelligence, human intelligence. And here, in 2070 or 2075, it can be just for sure 90% of probability that artificial intelligence will have our level, and then they will not stop. They will continue learning, and they will continue improving. So in his lecture, what he's asking is, what will happen with us, with humans, with sapiens, when artificial intelligence will be more intelligent than us? What will happen there? So, well, there is easy answer or very direct answer. It will depend on the preference of the software that they have, how they were, how people write the preference of these robots, of this software, which preference they put inside. In the case of the series, her preference was completely one objective. First objective was protect the family. Okay, learn to protect the family in any circumstances. But what happened here is that now, right now, artificial intelligence is developing, and is developing in many, many, many different positions from many, many different people in the public sector, but in the private sector. So we cannot stop it like internet. So what happened is people is writing preference, and some people is writing preference in their software to earn money. For example, companies are doing that. Okay, and others can do, probably governments can do, in order to improve society. But so we can have public development of artificial intelligence with preference to improve society. We will see now how. We can have now, at the same time, private companies developing artificial intelligence to earn money. Okay. So who will win? That's the key. So I wrote an article for a newspaper like 2 years ago, when after I took this lecture for the first time. And the key that I wrote there is this. I wrote the title of the article was, "This can be a new Rockefeller," because we know Rockefeller is power of market companies. Is a question of externalities, public goods, information. But perhaps now we have discovered a new Rockefeller, that is the development of artificial intelligence. Because when private companies develop artificial artificial intelligence, the efficiency of the market can be affected, really. Or if it is developed in a good way, the efficiency of the market can be affected, but in a positive way. We will see now. Okay. What he's asking, if will artificial intelligence be the next dominant species in the planet? And really, what I have learned this week has been, because I was worried really about this. But what I have learned this week, preparing this lecture, is that yes, perhaps it will, probably it will. But since now to this year, or probably this year, there are many years that we will be under the effects of artificial intelligence. So even now, we will have effects of artificial intelligence. We can have an example. We can have an example. Now, but first, just two concepts, very easy, that probably you know very well, and it's the concept of intensity of preference. For example, we have here individual, okay, normally we can represent the level of welfare or the level of utility of an individual as a function of his or her level of consuming goods and service. In the level that we have more welfare, we have more utility when we consume certain type of services or certain type of goods. Okay, if I take a good coat, even if I go outside with snow, like it was the weekend, I will be comfortable, and that makes me a good utility. So if I have a good coat, then my utility will be higher, and that's the meaning of this mathematical function. So if I have one coat and good socks of wool and good underwear of wool, my level of utility will be higher. Okay, so as much as I have, as much utility I can enjoy too. This is and one key is that what happens with people is that everyone have a budget constraint, because we cannot buy anything that we want really. We have a budget constraint. So our decision to buy something is, I buy something when the level of utility that I pay for every euro or crowns makes me very happy, produce me a very high level of utility. But every crowns or every euro spent in one good or service. And that is the concept of intensity of preference. How much money I'm able to pay to buy one good. Okay. Or it's the same, how much money I'm able to pay, or how much benefit I obtain when I consume one good or service. That's the concept of intensity of preference. Benefit for money spent in one good. Really, what they are willing to pay for obtaining one good. So this is for individual, but we have the same for community. Even if we have a map of preference for individual, we will have the same for community. Because when we think in community, we say, okay, what is good for me in my community? What is good for you in your community? What is your preference in your community? What is your first preference for the community? What will you, if your government asks you, what will be your answer? My first preference is for public policies.
I'm not quite sure.
Safety, is it?
Safety. Which more? exactly what is safety for you? Which type of public policy we have?
Like health safety, basically.
For example, healthcare system. That's very high in your preference. Yeah. Yes, sure. Education. So there are three. One is healthcare, education, and the other is safety, which is vinculated to social services. It can be any country you ask. Because if you ask in Spain, people say that social services, safety, healthcare system, education, that are in our preference. So I have only here two goods, two public policies, but I can have more like I had before in the other mathematical function. I can have here social services or safety. I can have a healthcare system. I can have education and many ones. And as much as I have public policies, my society in general, as a community, we are a group, a community. We will improve and we will have more welfare. Okay? But what is important for me is that you realize that one thing is that when we think individually, and then we change a little bit in our preference, in our mind, when we think in community. That's it. Yes. Our decision can change a little bit between this type of decision. But anyway, also we have a budget constraint. No, the government can spend anything, even this country. Okay, so we have a limit in utility because we have that budget. Okay. But the key is quite similar what we do individually. When we have behavior in community, what's mathematical exercise say is that what we are willing to pay for any public good or any public services, it must be the marginal cost of that public service. I have here, this is the formal expression of this problem. It's really, I can give you this later. I don't want to go into deep now. No, I don't want to go deep in this now, but I will give you. Anyway, it's in my Twitter account. So you will find there in my Twitter account with that hashtag that you have there, EP3ULPGC. EP3 means third course of public economics, and ULPGC is my university at this moment. It's University of Las Palmas of Gran Canaria. I have a Twitter account and I put my blackboards there. I did some changes with my iPad to put it in English and that you can recognize easier. But you have the original in Spanish, so you are able to learn Spanish too if you go on my account. And I will be quite happy to have followers, Norwegian followers in my Twitter account. So this is the real, and you can see here that this is quite familiar for you. Price is equal to marginal cost. So what people is willing to pay, it must be the marginal cost. And this is the solution for any individual market, but it's the same solution for the general equilibrium. So this expression is the same. Price is equal marginal cost. Okay. I did here an exercise for an individual market, but I take it from the general equilibrium. I took it I took it from the market. So we have here one example. This is an example. How artificial intelligence may improve efficiency in a private market. And I was wondering which example I can use. And I say, okay, we can try to look for an accommodation in Gran Canaria for 10 days. That will be very nice now. I really recommend you. At home we are 21 degrees, 22 degrees more or less. So we can look for in internet for accommodation. And if we do that in Google, I did that yesterday, and that the first line is, I don't know if you are able to see it, is booking. You know, booking? That's the first line. The second line is Airbnb. The third is hotels.com. Anyway, you have many. So what I did was I opened my computer, I write in my computer accommodation for Gran Canaria, and appears that a line of answer of Google. But the first line, the second line, the first page completely appears not because that's good for me. Appears because that companies pay Google to be there. Okay, so perhaps I try to look to find something good for me for next week, because I'm having a strong week, working very late in the night, and I need a rest. Okay, and what Google tell me is, booking is the best for you. I say, no, thank you. Booking is the best for me, but really it isn't the best for me. And probably it's not the best price too. Because what happened is Booking paid Google to be there, so they have to charge that cost in their price. So the price will be higher. Okay. So in the second step, I choose Booking. And when I choose Booking, I have like 20 accommodations in the first page. And what I wonder is, this accommodation will be the best for me, for my preference, and for my budget. It will be this answer of Booking the best price that I can achieve inside Booking too. The answer is no. No. The answer of Booking depends of how much money pay people for Booking. I know because I have an accommodation in Booking, and they suggest me many times, if you pay me more, I put you in the first line. And I say, no, I prefer not. I prefer to be honest in the market. And that's what happened in Booking. So what people is paying makes them to be upper in the answer Booking. So if I do again another step, that must be like more than 30 minutes. Okay? Then I choose like 4, and then I will choose 1, and it can take 45 minutes probably, because I have to compare prices, I have to look for the location in the island, etc., etc. Many other. So since I start here to choose one accommodation, it can be 45 minutes, and it will not be the best price, and probably it will not be the best choice for my preference. Okay. So it's like you are high in the market in price. Okay, interacting in that way. What happened now? I have a colleague, me. We work together in this line, this field, artificial intelligence, and he's developing software for the new. he's developing a software that you can order with your voice. So you can talk with that software. It can be in your smartphone, for example. So you can download that app. They are developing now. So you can talk with that app, and you can say, okay, I want an accommodation in Gran Canaria, in an individual house, in the countryside, with swimming pool, and the floor must be of wood, and the bathroom must be any. So you can do that in 1 minute. And the artificial intelligence, the software that app in your device will find it the best solution for you. Not in the first page of Google. It can be in the 90,000 page of, and it can do it just 1 minute. So you can see now how artificial intelligence is able to improve our welfare, because it will find the best solution for us in terms of the combination of price. You remember what we are going to pay for utility, price, and preference. And that's really an efficient decision. So they will help us to take the efficient decisions, really, and with prices very close to marginal cost. Okay. So that's how artificial intelligence can improve our efficiency, or can improve efficiency in any private market. Okay. So what type of regulation we should have here in this market? Where do you think? Where do you see the regulation here? Where is the key here? Have you seen something? I can say, for me, it's very clear. It's here. The regulation must be that this point must be transparent, completely transparent. No any company must be influenced for the amount of money that they pay to Google, because if not, we will be in bad decisions. We will be in inefficient decisions. Okay. So that's one example, and this is the other example. This is how artificial intelligence may improve in public markets. This was my PhD. I did it, I finished it in 1996, yeah, like 20 years ago. Yeah, I'm 20. I did this. And this is an example. For example, we have 3 persons here. It is Lina, Manuel, and June. And Lina wants to go from D to C with her car. Manuel wants to go from E to B, and June wants to go from F to A. Okay, and this is a city. These are the network of roads and streets of the city, and this is the inside the city with a lot of traffic jam and narrow roads, so you can drive there but slower with less speed. And here you have a ring road. It's a highway. You can go faster. So anyone, Lina, Manuel, and June, will choose the ring road to take their way. Okay. So now, right now, people choose free. They can pay tolls, perhaps, but they choose free for free. So if Lina chooses for free, they will choose the ring road, and they will take 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay. if Manuel chooses, he will choose the ring road too. So it will be like the green line, again, 40 minutes. And June will choose to the same 40 minutes too. Okay? But what happens if even if it is a ring road, if it is a highway, because we will be together in the same road, that will produce congestion. And that's producing us 5 minutes more time in our travel. Okay. So the real cost for Lina will be 45 because I produce myself and June produce and her produce traffic jam. For me it will be 45 and for you will be 45. So if we add society, the cost for society will be 135 minutes. But what happened here? This is, we think individually, but we can think in the society point of view. From the society point of view, we can think like a community, and we can say, okay, no, we are a community. If we do this, we will need a new road in 4 years. And the government will need to build a new road in 4 years, and that's a lot of public money. And that will take out of aids for students, for example. So we prefer somebody assign traffic here. So in order to fall down the congestion, and then we will not need to spend public funds in new roads. We can spend in healthcare system, or we can spend in education, or we can spend it in social services. And in the future, which will down this will be artificial intelligence. And it will be like this. He will take your car. You will not drive. He will drive. It will drive for you, your car, your autonomous car. It will be driving for a big computer managed for artificial intelligence. And the computer will say, okay, Lina will take the ring road, June will take the ring road, but Manuel has to take by the city, by the middle of the city. So Lina will need 40 minutes, June will need 40 minutes, no traffic jam at all in the highway. Manuel will pay 5 minutes more than before. Only 5, no more. So I'm not able to choose, it will choose for me. But if you use some, the cost for the society is less now. So this is the difference between thinking in the individual way, how people can take decisions in the individual way, and this is how we can manage public goods. Thinking in the welfare of the society. This is a very simple example, but here is how can artificial intelligence can improve. But what happened here? What happened here is the following. It can be this. So Lina take this way, June take this way, and I take this way. But what happened if with the big data used for the software, there is here a petrol station of Shell that have a big impact in the big data information, in the metadata information used for the software, and it put a big impact there, and it makes that Lina, instead of doing this, do this, and me do this, and June do this. If we add at the end, the cost for the society can be like this. But everybody take this way, stop here, and put diesel or gasoline or electricity in their car. that's the risk of having software managing the traffic in a city and they take information of big data, and in that big data we have information of private companies too. So the government must go there to improve that, to regulate. Okay, that's the second question answer. And the last question was this one. Can I take 4 minutes more? Or? May we need governments and parliaments in the future? To answer this, just in 4 minutes, first we have to answer why we need governments, why we need parliaments. The reason is that, okay, here you are 5.2 million people, population, no? Is that correct? Yes. I know many things of this country. In my country, we are 42 million people, population. So it's quite difficult to make a consensus between us. So we need people that will represent us in a place, which is a parliament. That's the reason that we vote, because they are our voice, really. We vote them, and they take our preference, and they say, June say that, Liv say that, Victor say that, Manuel say that. They represent our voice. That's their function. I don't know in this country right now. In my country, that's not so sure. They think they are the boss. But really, they are not the boss. We are the boss. We have the power. And we are which really have the decision. That's the democracy. That is what is a democracy. People have the power to decide. What will happen in the future? What will happen in the future is that our preference will be in internet. It will be completely transparent. The software, the big software of the community will know perfectly which are our preference. So we don't need representatives. Somebody, the software, know the government, the software will ask us where we want the next bus stop. And because your device know very well your preference, the device will answer directly your preference. You don't need to push a button. And that's quite good. Why? Because your preference is here. Your preference is there in that curves of indifference utility. So we don't need government. We don't need people who represent us. Our device, that will be like our best friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, they will take our information and they will answer, this is my information. Okay? But, sorry, I don't have time, but I have here an example how to use it. Because it's not a question of choose voting people by people, person by person, one person, one vote. Because if we do that, we will take an efficient decision. It must be a decision based on our intensity of preference. What we are able to pay, or is the same. What is our benefit per corn spent or per euro spent in that small decision that is bus stop? But I can came another day and explain this if you want. If not, you have in my blog it's an article that I wrote in 2014 for a newspaper in Spain, and the title of the article is referendum. Referendum because it's referendum in plural. So you can write that very easy, and if you don't understand Spanish, you can use translate the Google translation. So that's it. The solution is there, or if you want, I can come here and explain this. Thank you so much.